Time to read your unpopular opinions. Hey guys, how's it going? I'm back for another video and this is your unpopular opinion. So I put on Twitter, what unpopular opinion do you have about football? And I got almost 150 responses, so thank you so much for that. I obviously can't go through every single one, but I'm gonna do my best to get through quite a few of them and give my thoughts on your unpopular opinions. Before we get into any of that, please just take a moment to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already, and I promise I'll stop bugging you about it. So let's get into the video. So the first unpopular opinion is, as well as Jorginho has been playing, we don't really need him to go forward as a club. And I think that anything regarding Jorginho could be really unpopular. For me personally, I'm not too bothered whether he stays or goes. If he stays, I'm kind of like, great. If he goes, I'm like, well, it's not the biggest loss in the world either. I do think that Kovacic and Kane can also do his job. Maybe Chelsea are looking at more of a DM player as well. I do think that he's been playing really well in the system, but sometimes he can be a bit limited, but that's not to discredit how well he's been playing recently, especially with his progressions of the ball. I see him looking forward a lot more, so I do think that he's been a good player, but I don't think he's an instrumental player for Chelsea. But yeah, let me know if you agree or disagree. Okay, next unpopular opinion, and I really liked this one. It says Leicester is a bigger club and a better prospect for players than Arsenal. And I think, you know, you have to take into account Arsenal's history. I don't think that Leicester is necessarily a bigger club than Arsenal, but I was just taking a look at their standings in the Premier League over the last like 5 or 6 years or so. So let's go back to when Leicester won the league in 15-16. So Arsenal's rank in the Premier League since then: 2nd, 5th, 6th, 5th, 8th, 9th, and Leicester's rank in the league is 1st, 12th, 9th, 5th, and then they're also having a really good season this year. So while I don't think that Leicester may be a bigger club than Arsenal, Arsenal do have a lot of history. They tend to do well in the FA Cup as well. But I do think, like right now, with the way that Leicester are playing, if I were a player, I would probably choose to go to Leicester over Arsenal, because Arsenal really haven't really impressed me at all this season. They're struggling to even make a Europa League spot, and Leicester are fighting with the Champions League. I think that they have a really good recruitment. They have a really strong manager as well. The team atmosphere seems really great, and I do think that they have a better chance of playing in Europe, whether that's the Europa League or the Champions League, than Arsenal do. Next one, if Harry Kane doesn't jump off of the Tottenham ship, he will retire without a trophy. And I was on a video the other day and I didn't realize that Harry Kane is already in his prime, and I was thinking, I don't know why I thought he was so young. Like, time has just completely felt so weird the past year. I was gonna say couple of years. But Harry Kane, can he win anything with Tottenham? I don't really think so. They've just come crashing out of the Europa League. Do I see them winning a Premier League? No. So I do think that for the betterment of his career, it would be smart for him to try to move clubs, because I think he's a brilliant striker. I think any club would really love to have somebody like Harry Kane, top scorer and assister so far in the league this season. But what's he have to show for it really with Tottenham? I don't see them winning a Champions League. I don't see them winning a Europa League, maybe even qualifying for a Champions League. So I do think that he may be one of those players that is just top goal scorer but doesn't win anything. But it's a bit sad, because I think he does deserve to win some trophies. Another unpopular opinion that I really like: Man United would struggle to get top 4 without Bruno Fernandes. I don't know. I don't think that this is that unpopular. Bruno Fernandes in the league so far this season, 16 goals, 10 assists. And we know that before United bought Bruno Fernandes, they were really struggling as a side, and then he came in and helps them to secure top 4. Now they're 2nd in the league, and I think a major reason for that is Bruno Fernandes. Everything that they create basically goes through him. So if they didn't have Bruno Fernandes, I don't think that they would be anywhere close to how good they are now. He's one of those players that you pass the ball to him and hope that he creates something, and I think that Manchester United are trying to build the team around him. So if he wasn't there, then no, I don't think that they would get top 4 probably. All right, I know I'm saying that I love all of them, but I just you guys are so funny, like I really do. Next one, Alonso at center forward would have been generational, and I think that this is so hilarious because Marcos Alonso, he has like a wicked left foot, he has a wicked shot on him, and whoever saw him, it was like, this guy is left back or left wing back, whatever. It's like he perfectly could have been a striker. He's really tall as well. I just think it's so funny. So we'll never know. Hindsight is 2020, but honestly, maybe he could have been a pretty good striker. Next one, Eden Hazard underachieved at Chelsea, and this is one that I've seen a couple of times, so I want to get your thoughts on it as well. I looked up the trophies that he won. He's 2 Premier League, 2 Europa League, and FA Cup, and I think maybe some League Cup in there as well. So the only thing he really didn't get was a Champions League, and we have to look at the time that Eden Hazard was playing for Chelsea. Chelsea really were not that competitive in the Champions League. We haven't gotten past the round of 16 since 2014. And I don't think that lies solely on Eden Hazard. I mean, look at how well he performed, except that 15-16 season where everybody didn't play well. But, you know, I think that he was really leading the team and did the most that he possibly could, and we're kind of seeing that we don't have that match winner, that person who's going to take a game and completely spin it on its head, and that's what Eden Hazard did. Not many players can do that. I think when you're looking at the players that he was surrounded with, absolutely no disrespect to Willian or Pedro, but I just don't feel like they are prolific goal scorers. So maybe if Hazard was playing with somebody who was more of a goal scorer, then Chelsea could have gotten farther in competitions. You have to look at the entire team, and you know, there are a lot of managers as well. Chelsea, I think that's really the only thing that you could fault him for, not winning a Champions League. But other than that, I think that he's been an incredible player, and it's not just on one person to win a Champions League. I think that's why he moved to Madrid, where he would be surrounded by so many world-class players, and unfortunately it just hasn't been working out for him. But yeah. Another Eden Hazard one. This one is also super controversial. It says, I don't want Eden Hazard back at Chelsea. And I feel like I put out a poll on this, and it was about 75-25 a couple weeks ago. But I feel like it could be even more 50-50. I'm seeing a lot on it. For me personally, if you have Eden Hazard, who's just like such a great personality, you don't really pay much for him. Like, slim to none. He's willing to not have like a massive salary because he knows he's going to take a back seat. Then why not? Why not bring him in as like a head figure who's a senior player to help the youngsters? And he's just like such a good personality. I think that he would be a good person to have around, and then you can bring him off of the bench or whatever. Do I think that he's going to be the Eden Hazard that we know and love from Chelsea? No, I don't. And the sad part is we don't know if he's really going to play football again because of his ankle injury, and it's so freaking sad. But, you know, if it was super reasonable, I am not very rational when it comes to Eden Hazard. I'm just not, and I can say that I know that it's probably not the best transfer in the world, but if he wants to retire at Chelsea, and if all the money is reasonable and whatever, I personally wouldn't mind having him. But I completely understand the other side of it was like, he's not going to be playing. He isn't the player that he was. He can barely stay fit. I also wonder, like, the medical side of it, like what's going on. Maybe he's rushing himself back. I don't quite understand how he's getting so injured. Maybe he needed more protection in the Premier League and it's just catching up to him. But I really hope that he can get himself fit, hopefully for the Euros, because it's just so sad to see what's happened to him. 2 more unpopular opinions. Next one, Chelsea don't need Haaland. This is really interesting because Chelsea do have a lot of attacking talent, right? And I don't think that they've necessarily clicked with each other this season. We're seeing that they're getting rotated a lot. I think this is partially because of Chelsea's heavy fixtures, but also because Tuchel is basically looking at who he thinks is going to be like his starting 3 or starting 4 attackers or whatever it is. And you know, I think that Timo Werner is going to come good. I think that Kai Havertz is going to come good. You also have Christian Pulisic suffering with injuries, but I do think that he is a really great goal scorer and an amazing player. And then you have the youngsters as well. You have Tammy, you have Callum, you have Mount, Giroud, maybe. But that being said, despite all of this talent, I think Erling Haaland is just 1 in a million. I think that he's going to be the best player in the world and win a Ballon d'Or. I really do. So if you have the opportunity to buy that prolific goal scorer, who he's insane. If you look at his Champions League record, it's just absolutely insane. At 20 years old, this guy is a machine. He's a machina. Like, he is so strong, just a beast. Like, the mentality, he just wants to score goals, and he scores goals almost every single game in the Bundesliga. And we've seen with Timo and with Kai that maybe there's an adjustment period, but for him, I really don't think there's going to be an adjustment period, because he is massive. Like, he would bully defenders as well. So in my opinion, if you have the opportunity to sign him, then you better do it, because especially if he goes to a team like City, they're going to be winning the league for the next 5 years. So it's like, you want to strengthen your team, but you also want to make sure that your opponents don't strengthen as well, if that makes sense. And last one, this one made me sad. Pulisic is overrated. I think that, you know, he's had a really difficult year with injuries, and it's been kind of crappy for him, but I don't think that he's overrated. I think, like, you're not going off of somebody who played in another league and hasn't proven themselves in the Premier League. We've seen that he can play very well in the Premier League. It's just a matter of him staying fit. It's also a new system as well. I want to see him on the left. Like, I hate that he's been playing on the right. I don't think that that really suits him that much. So Pulisic overrated? I don't think so, but with more and more time that passes, he does have more and more to prove. I think he's going to come back to it, but I just think that he needs some time to do so. Alright guys, well, that's it from me. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Unpopular Opinions. I really enjoyed reading them, and if you have any unpopular opinions that I didn't get to, leave them in the comments below, and I'll read them and react to them, and that will be super fun as well. So if you like this video, don't forget to drop it a like, subscribe to my channel, and follow me on my socials, because why the hell not? And until next time, I'm out.